So I think it might be about time to get on over to gaming news.
Baby.
Gaming news. What we got this week for gaming news, Derrick? Anything cool?
So, Final Fantasy X turned 20 years old on July 19th. And that just makes me feel old. You see those memes where it's like, what you think Final Fantasy looks like 20 years ago, and it shows you like the original, what it actually looked like, and you see Final Fantasy X, and you're like, fuck.
I think I've transcended that.
You think so?
I know I'm fastly approaching 40, but when I see stuff like that, everything is blurring together to me. Stuff that was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And the older I get, the more I realize, man, time is a flat circle. We're going to do this all again. Next week's going to be somebody else's anniversary, and I just ain't got time to feel old no more. It's the new normal for me. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, 20 years old. Like, that is crazy.
That's cool.
So crazy, in fact, that a fan, actually, there's a YouTube channel called Toby Saunders, and they made a 4K Unreal Engine remake of the environments of Final Fantasy X.
Ooh.
And it's about 3 to 4 minutes long, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I want a Final Fantasy X remake in the same vein as 7. Like, it looks great. You see Kilika, you see Home, you see Besaid. It's just all beautiful. And there are some scenes where it's showing like the Aeons where they're clearly like clipped from the game because they didn't want to put that much work into it.
Yeah.
But it just looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go check it out, man. It's awesome. It's a very nostalgic trip. Y'all know how I feel about Final Fantasy X.
Of course. It's a wonderful game. The thing I love most about it, of all the Final Fantasies that I can go back and look at, it's the one to me that holds up the best, which is why I feel like I can wait a little while longer for a remake. I agree with you, a remake would be cool, but what I really want to see is them go and do 8 and 9 first.
Yeah.
Or possibly
maybe
even...
not 8. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 8. I love it. But the story is batshit. It's bonkers. It makes absolutely zero sense.
That's why we need 8 more than ever, because they can elaborate, make it make sense, and they can take all the cool concepts like the floating garden full of child soldiers and make it badass.
Right,
so,
that's true.
I don't know, like, I think there's a lot to do there. I think it would be a lot more robust of a project than Final Fantasy VII even. So we'll see how it goes. And of course I want 9 because 9 is just my baby. Like 9's my fave of the whole series. So yeah, cool, man. All right, congratulations. Cool. Happy birthday, Final Fantasy. Next year you can drink.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're also getting a new Witcher animated series called The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. It's coming out August 23rd on Netflix, and it looks badass.
That's really soon, too.
I know.
So Nightmare of the Wolf, did they say anything about the story? Like if they're pulling it directly from a particular short story from the Witcher series, or if it's like a particular book, or they mentioned anything
The trailer didn't mention anything. It's a new Witcher character, not a new Witcher character. It's probably one that's been in the books or something, but we're not following Geralt. It's a completely different character that we're following. He looks badass. He reminds me of Trevor from Castlevania in that he's just real pompous and sure of himself when he gets into a fight.
Sounds like Lambert. And, did they say what the character's name is?
I don't think I heard a name.
Okay, well, no problem. I'm going to go take a look and see. I bet there's a million YouTube videos out there speculating on who it could be.
It's young Vesemir.
Oh, that'd be cool, actually. All right, well, right on, man. That's exciting, man. August is going to be fucking great. We got Monster Hunter. We got Witcher. Awesome. What a great time to be alive. What else? Give me some more good news.
Well, we got a Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island expansion story trailer.
Cool.
And it was about a minute and a half long. Shows the new antagonist, the Eagle. She seems to be some sort of shaman that's trying to take over Iki Island and the nearby islands. The way that Jin finds out is that the Eagle sent an advance party to Tsushima and he defeated them. And he's like, well, I can't have this Eagle character, destroying Tsushima and Iki, so I got to go over there. He takes his boat over there, it gets destroyed in a storm, and then he gets captured. And the eagle is talking to him about, hey, let me guide you through the horror and stuff so you can come out on top and we can work together and do stuff. But obviously he declines, and then, battle ensues. And it looks awesome. It looks really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. That's the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima is coming out August 20th. So there's another August thing for you.
August is going to be
fat,
fucking
baby.
lit, yo.
It's fat.
Can't wait. All right. Well, speaking of Netflix and whatnot, you remember we recently had confirmed that Netflix was looking to get into gaming. Mm-hmm. More info on that came out. It sounds like, just from statements directly from Netflix, that they're going to start with smaller mobile game experiences that are going to be available on smartphones and tablets. The cool thing is it'll be at no extra cost to Netflix subscribers and cousins of Netflix subscribers who were given the code, which is cool. And it sounds like it's going to be dropping sometime in 2022, so that's pretty soon.
Nice.
There's some interesting rumors flying around about the Netflix gaming because of a recent data mine of the Netflix app that showed images of a PlayStation 5 controller and Ghost of Tsushima, hinting at a partnership with Sony, which is not unheard of because a lot of the properties that we mentioned are partially owned by Sony in regards to their video game shows. So, interesting.
What could it be?
I mean, it could be like Here's the thing that I think would be kind of cool if they decided to go this route. I'm not really into mobile games, but if Netflix did, free games that I could play and it didn't have a lot of gacha or free-to-play or microtransaction bullshit, which doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they just want more subscribers, right? Because obviously their subs are starting to dwindle because of the competition in the market. But if they had games that augmented Sony games, so say you had a Ghost of Tsushima mobile game and rewards or stuff could be linked to the main game, that'd be kind of cool. Different stuff like that. So I'm definitely down to check it out. I'm not really that type of gamer, but I'll always, I'll take a gander. So
nice.
Yeah. What else we got going on this week, gaming news wise?
Well, we've got some less than exciting news about Activision Blizzard, another big video game company. And I'm just going to read off a bit of this article that I found on Bloomberg.
Okay.
Video game giant Activision Blizzard, maker of games including World of Warcraft and Diablo, fosters a frat boy culture in which female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, unequal pay, and retaliation, according to a lawsuit filed by California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. A 2-year investigation by the state agency found that the company discriminated against female employees in terms and conditions of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, and termination. Company leadership consistently failed to take steps to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, the agency said. According to the complaint filed Tuesday in the Los Angeles Superior Court, female employees make up around 20% of the Activision workforce and are subjected to, quote, pervasive frat boy workplace culture, including cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office and often engage in an inappropriate behavior toward female employees. Ooh. This is not good stuff, people. The agency alleges male employees play video games during the workday while delegating responsibilities to female employees, engage in sexual banter, and joke openly about rape, among other things.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's very, very bad. I'm going to power through it though, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Female employees alleged being held back from promotions because of the possibility they might become pregnant, being criticized for leaving to pick up their children from daycare, and being kicked out of lactation rooms so male colleagues could use the room for meetings. Female employees working for the World of Warcraft team noted that male employees and supervisors would hit on them, make derogatory comments about rape, and otherwise engage in demeaning behavior. Now, I'm just going to come out and say this. If they're joking this much, or at all, about rape in the office, there's probably some of that going on in the office. And it's fucking terrible. And this next part is probably the worst bit. The suit also points to a female Activision employee who took her own life while on a company trip with her male supervisor. The employee had been subjected to intense sexual harassment prior to her death, including having nude photos passed around at a company holiday party.
Oh, no.
That's fucking insane. And like, there's absolutely no reason for this type of behavior to be allowed in any industry, workplace, sidewalk, whatever. Like, this is bullshit. It
goes without saying, for sure.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people calling for boycott Activision, rightly so, because the company is doing absolutely nothing. Like, here's a statement from the company. We value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that offers inclusivity for everyone. There is no place in our company or industry or any industry for sexual misconduct or harassment of any kind, a spokesperson from Activision Blizzard said in the statement. We take every allegation seriously and investigate all claims. In cases related to misconduct, action was taken to address the issue. But
that's not the right answer. Not after a 2-year investigation with those kind of allegations. That is not the right fucking answer.
Right. So, yeah, it's fucking bad. It's everywhere. And I'm just glad that it's at a point now where these things are coming to light and everyone's seeing it. Now, is anything going to change because of this? Probably not. And I hate to say that because, you know, big companies are going to big company. They're going to keep making their money. People are going to forget about this and continue on.
I'd like to elaborate on that.
Go ahead.
I think that is anything going to change? Maybe not as quickly as we'd like.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that nothing's going to change because that almost makes it sound like, well, then what's the point? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, actually, I saw Jason Schreier because he helped break the story and he was tweeting a lot about this. I saw the story when he was breaking it earlier. We were discussing it on the Gamer Friends Discord a little bit. In my opinion, you know, it's true traditionally boycotts don't work. You know, I talk about that whenever Ubisoft is brought up and their misconduct and sexual allegations and how I personally will not give money to that anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if we keep talking about it, if these kind of things keep coming to light, if it becomes more of a conversation and it's harder to ignore, and enough of us decide enough is enough and we band together, we can vote with our wallets. I mean, to me, when I learned about this week, the first thing I thought was rest in peace, Diablo 2.
Right.
Because as excited as Big Nkrumah got me for that game, I don't want to give a dime to Activision Blizzard. They were already on my shit list because of Bobby Kotick and what he does to his employees. But to me, that didn't justify not buying their games because really what needs to change is what they do with the money they make, not the fact that they make the money, right?
Right.
But in this case, knowing the kind of abuse that's running rampant, and like you said, that nothing will likely be done unless it's affecting their bottom line, then I need to do my part and affect their bottom line. Now, I'm not going to wag my finger at other folks for buying or playing Blizzard games or advocating for them. But at an opportunity I get, I will gently remind people who maybe don't remember or don't know that this shit goes on, and then do with that information what you will. And my sincere hope is, and my sincere belief is, that if enough of us know about what's going on, over time, we can affect change in this area because change has been affected in this area. Like you said, there's no place for that kind of conduct. But that used to be the norm not too long ago.
Right.
And there are some industries that because they're such a boys club, they've been a bit of a holdout for this type of behavior. And that includes game development because up until recently, it has not been a very diverse place. And the industry, in my opinion, has suffered for it. A lot of folks would say otherwise, gamers with a capital G, or what we like to call gamers TM, would say otherwise. But to me, it's always enriching when you add diversity and inclusion into any kind of creative environment, because that diversity of perspective and the inclusiveness to bring ideas forward and be vulnerable without any fear of repercussion or backlash is what's going to get the best games out there.
Yeah.
So let me just be not one of the first and not one of the last to say, fuck Activision Blizzard. You will be getting no more of my money moving forward.
Nope. Me either. It's fucking ridiculous.
All right. Well, speaking of soul-crushing, horrible, evil corporations, EA Play 2021 was this week. Woo!
Your soul is mine.
I have my own beef with EA, but that's more business beef. It's how, and we'll talk about it a bit. I mean, we talked about it last week with Dead Space. They, among other things, they did confirm the Dead Space reboot is coming. It's going to be on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC. There's a short trailer showing that it's definitely a remake. They took that original studio, the developers that made Dead Space, they took their vision and tried to make it something it wasn't. Not this niche horror product that they created for that niche audience. They tried to make it universal, and when it didn't make all the money, they just shoved a bunch of microtransactions in there and then killed the franchise, fired everybody that developed the game, blah, blah, blah. We all know how it went.
Yeah.
So, not a big fan of that. I'm probably not going to support the reboot. I think it looks great, and it's awesome that people are going to get another horror game. But for those who know the truth behind it, it's just... it's going to put a bad taste in my mouth.
Pick it up used.
Maybe I'll pick it up used, yeah.
And I will be buying the Callisto Protocol, which is from the original creator of Dead Space when it comes out.
Definitely going to support that. Good point to bring up. Anytime Dead Space Remake is brought up, just remind people, hey, Callisto Protocol. The actual people who made Dead Space made that. Come on now. All right, so let me ask you, did you get a chance to watch EA Play 2021?
I just watched a few highlights. There were not too many things that I was like, oh my God, I got to watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad because I did watch the whole thing and it was super cringe and it was really hard to watch. Like, talk about the just pretentious hand movements and standing right on camera and kind of looking sideways like there's an audience and being like, wow, what a great trailer. I'm so excited. Tell us more about this amazing new game.
Okay.
And then they had this screen in the background with a bunch of developers sitting in front of their computer screens, like waving or whatever, like pre-stock footage. They didn't interview or talk to any of them, of course, except for like the bigwig that was on stage. But like, here's our development team, and they're all in their little boxes, just waving and smiling, and then they flip the screen away.
Right.
What they did do is they dropped, I think, a lot of stuff that certain people are going to be interested in for sure. There was a new grid racing game. It looked, interesting and developed. Not really for me. They announced Season 2 of Knockout City. A lot of people are really enjoying Knockout City right now. Good for you guys. They announced a new Apex character who looks fucking dope, to be honest. I love those Apex reveal trailers. Those are, they're trying to compete with Overwatch a little bit, it seems like. And cool, fuck Overwatch. You know who makes them? Activision Blizzard. Apex, baby! So, but yeah, I'm not really a big Apex player. Kind of explained why last week. But, you had just briefly mentioned it. Fucking Lost in Random. That's where my attention lied. That looked interesting as shit. What do you think?
Man, that looks cool as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was going to be kind of like a It Takes Two thing going on where you play as both sisters. But then they were like, oh, you got to play as one sister and rescue the other sister. I was like, oh, okay. I'll still probably give it a shot. But it looks really dope. The mechanics, the dice mechanics, the winning, the shooting pieces off of enemies to unlock different card powers for your dice when you roll the dice. Like, it looks super dope.
The gameplay looked a little dicey. You see what I did there? What I really love about the game is the art style. It's straight up like Tim Burton animation, man. Yep. Yo, it's like a cross between Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it. And all the creature designs, wow. And the gameplay looks really competent. I gotta tell you, one of my favorite gaming experiences of this year, and probably something we'll talk about during our top 5 of 2021, was It Takes Two. Yeah. And I know it's not the same developer, at least I don't think it is. But I like it when EA supports these indie-style developed games. And I feel like this is going to be another one that people who enjoy single-player experiences should keep an eye out for sure. Yeah. That was EA Play 2021. We're going to move right along. Now, this may be a little bit of a shorter episode than usual, but don't worry, because we are recording the spoiler cast for Loki this week with Call It Like I Don't See It. So I will make sure to have that out for you guys sometime this week. And of course, on our socials, on Twitter, on Facebook, we will announce when that spoiler cast drops. So keep an eye out.